freaking annoying. I hate unicorn hunters. I hate this. I hate that. Well, you know what? At some point, everybody's going to be something like that.
Right.
And the thing is, like, we weren't unicorn hunting when Jay found this woman that she started dating, and she had never been in a poly situation whatsoever before, so it was new to her. So it was a learning experience for her, which some people in poly is like, it's a definite no. It's a hard no. It's like, you've never been in a poly. Well, how the fuck do you get in a poly relationship if you've never been in one before and you're curious about it?
It's kind of like being hired for a position that you may not have as much experience as somebody else. How do you ever get the experience if nobody ever gives you a chance?
Job requirements are often like that. You know, you have to be 21 with 8 years of college and 16 years experience.
Honestly, that happens so often in the IT world. It's like, we need you to have 8 years experience in this technology. Well, the technology is only like 2 years old. How the fuck do you do that?
Right.
But that's the thing you see in people that complain about. Right? I will never date anybody that's never been in a poly situation.
Well, you know what we say about the word never.
Right.
Yeah,
the second that you actually say it and mean it wholeheartedly is the second that it's actually going to make you have to do it.
Yep.
I have never been a millionaire.
Ha ha.
Oh,
that doesn't actually
no.
freaking work.
It only does it when
By
it's
the
bad.
end of our lives, we're going to have been millionaires. So there you go.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not all at once, though.
Right, exactly.
So, like we said, we would never live in Houston, and we lived in Houston.
We ended up living in Houston.
And enjoyed our time there.
We actually stated, like verbatim, that anywhere in the entire world we never wanted to live. The only single place that we did not want to live was Houston.
And guess what? We lived there for 5 years and had bought a house there.
Yeah.
See, and
But we enjoyed our time there, for the most part.
Yeah, and that's what I've stopped saying never, because I really don't want to move any
Never
further
say
north.
never.
I really don't want to move any further north. But if I say I will never live north of here, it will happen. So, no.
Yeah, so don't say that, because it's already cold enough here sometimes. Not often. But back to the subject. Jay started dating this girl who had never been in a poly situation, and it proved to be kind of a rough go at it. She didn't know much about communication. Hold on, let me take a shot.
Oh my God. Not only did she not know about communication, she actually was looking for like another woman to be a part of a threesome with another guy she was dating or seeing.
But when she started talking to Jay's like, no, we're not doing that. However, Jay kind of has some skills.
Well then.
But what ended up happening,
I have made the lady scream, I'm just saying.
So what ended up happening is that instead of her and her dude having a threesome, Jay started dating her, like an actual relationship type of thing. The threesome never happened, and Jay was dating this girl, and she was pretty cool, at the time. But she was new to poly, did not know how to take poly, didn't know how to do poly, didn't know how to do it. It was so...
Well, she was actually really great until she wasn't, and then we realized she was lying to us and seeing other people and had other relationships she didn't even tell us about, and plans to move in with some dude, and
So our goal wasn't...
Anyway.
Our goal wasn't unicorn hunting, but it ended up happening that she started a relationship with myself, and so after she had dated Jay for a couple months, started a relationship with me, and so technically we had the unicorn.
And for all of you like unicorn hunting downers, we treated her like a princess.
Yeah, we did.
She was
a member of us, part of us.
Yeah. Even just as a side note, even if you call yourself polyamorous, it's not okay to be deceptive to your partners.
Never.
It is not okay. You might have the freedom to see whoever you want or do whatever you want, but that has to be communicated. Take a shot.
Oh, God. Yeah. I'm also...
We're going to have just our tech guy taking shots.
How is that fair?
We're not responsible for how this episode actually comes out,
right?
Because...
because our editor is drunk.
He's way further down on his shot glass than we are.
Anyway,
how did that happen? So I think I had less in my glass.
You did not.
What I was actually
that's all I'm going to say.
What I was going to say was any kind of deception is bad. It is cheating. And it doesn't matter if you have the freedom to not say anything and do whatever you want. That's your deal. Then that's your deal. But if you haven't made that your deal, you're lying. And you're just a cheaterson like any other cheater who has ever cheated.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Right, because at the time that we were
I'm always
actually...
so disappointed that liar's pants do not light up in flames.
Unfortunately.
That really needs to be a thing.
That would be a great indicator.
It would be.
You
wow,
don't need
what
that.
are those burn spots on your genitalia? Huh.
So,
Liar, liar.
Have your pants caught on fire before?
Jay,
No?
you
Liar.
read people too well. You don't know. You don't need that.
No.
Yeah.
Other people
I
might
can
need that.
kind of tell.
So anyway, I mean, our relationship lasted for several months with her, and Houston worked out for us until it didn't. And we had to move. It was one of those things that we didn't. It was like we have to make a change for the family for us to be in a better situation. So what we ended up doing is like we were in the point of like, hey, look, we have to move. We have to get out of here. We're selling our house. We have to go somewhere else. And at the time, we didn't know where we were going. We ended up where we are now. Let's just say fate drove us there, whatever it was. But we were at the point of like, we would like her to come with us. And it just...
No, we were broken up at the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after we moved and we were broken up and we started talking to her again
Right.
that
We
we
almost moved her
actually
up here.
thought about it.
So that was an experience with somebody who had never been in a poly relationship before. Now, that's not saying that every relationship you're going into with someone who's never been in a poly is going to be difficult. Hopefully your experience with someone going into poly that has never been in poly before is smooth and knows how to communicate. And you know what? There is a learning curve. There is a learning curve. You're going to have a learning curve. No matter what you're doing new, you're going to have a learning curve.
Many of our listeners have never been in poly before, and why they started listening to us is because they wanted to know how to start, or
Right.
how to be in this lifestyle, or how
Or
to
what it was like.
what it is.
Yeah.
You have to start sometime.
Yeah.
So you have to start with
somewhere.
no experience. Sorry. Just like at the gym, you have to go and start with the low weights. You can't just jump into the big, heavy stuff.
Totally not true.
And I apologize ahead of time, but not really. But you're going to go through all of the painful things, and you're going to have to
Yeah.
learn all of the things on your own.
You know what? You're going to go through pain no matter how many poly relationships you've had before.
But even in monogamy, even
Exactly.
in everything that you're passionate about in life, you're going to experience.
Which we're passionate about poly.
Well, we're passionate about the
Life.
things that we love in
Absolutely.
life and
And the
living
people
our
we love.
truth.
And the people we love.
There's actually a song, I can't remember who did it right off the top of my head, but it's called I Wish You Pain. And the whole song is about wishing bad things to happen to this person, and it's not about cursing them or wishing necessarily the bad things to happen in and of themselves, but about wishing for growth. And hoping that they have these experiences that the singer themselves had. Look at how much they've grown because of them.
That's something I can get behind.
And that's so the song itself is I Wish You Pain. And yeah, if you're getting into this lifestyle, there will be pain. But there, you know what? Just like Jay said, in monogamy, there is just as much. There's just as much drama. There's just as much pain. There's just as much everything. Mm-hmm. People have this tendency to start dating and have a bad experience and then say, well, that's why I don't do that anymore. Well, if monogamous people said that, there wouldn't be any families.
It wouldn't be marriage.
There wouldn't be marriage. One bad experience to put you off of the whole thing. 2 bad experiences, 3 in a row. Guess what? You just haven't found the people you're looking for.
And that is exactly true, because when we first started off poly, we didn't know what poly was. Jay and I were from a very small town, very closed-minded town. And when I say from, we lived in it. So I was from. She had moved there from somewhere else.
Which was also a small town.
Yeah. Like there was like one flashing red light town.
Oh, wow.
That was it. That was the extent. Actually, my town was bigger
I
than...
can't wait to take you there one day. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Jay and I started technically dating somebody that we were living with that had moved in with us. It didn't start out like that. She needed a place to live. She started, it ended up that way.
One thing led to another.
One thing led to another, and we talked about it, and we're like, what do you think? What do you think? Could this work out? Sure. Why not?
She was our high school
Best friend.
she was a high school best friend of both of us.
Yeah.
And it was years later after high school, and she had children, and we were like, oh, well, if it's going to work with anyone, it'll work with you.
Of course it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. However, it's not always like that. It's not.
I'm sure all of you have many different stories about your love life and how things have gone wrong and things have gone right, you know, and that doesn't negate anything that you've gone through or anything you've experienced. It just means that you went through it and you survived it, and now you're on the other side of it more wise and more secure,
More
experienced, and you can continue on and you can make better decisions about what you really want in life.
And that's where we get to the, experienced poly people. I would like to say we're experienced poly people. We've had many different types of relationships. We come from different backgrounds. We come from different lifestyles. We have had many different experiences. The way we tried dating. We've tried different types of dating experiences. And so Jay and I have tried OKC. We've tried that was interesting.
Actually, that's where we met one of the people that we told you about that we.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That was kind of and we hear, success stories and failure stories, but it's a dating app. I mean, you're going to have both. I think I dated like 2 people off of OKC. Well, I say dated. I went on 2 I went on 2 dates with.
Dated, air quotes.
Yeah, air quotes.
Yeah.
So it was, I went on 2 dates, so to speak, with people from OKC. One of them, it was cool. I enjoyed my time with her, and there was just never ended up to where we can actually go on any more dates because there was a lot of stuff going on. That was in Houston. That was kind of how it went there. It didn't do well for me. The OKC did not do. Jay had more luck than I did.
It did okay for me. Oh my god, bitches be tripping. Like
true.
that saying, I posted that on my personal Facebook feed so much while I was dating from OKC. Like that was my whole motto, bitches be tripping, because oh my god.
At the time she was only dating women.
Yeah. And I met some crazy people.
Some cray-cray.
Yeah.
So I had an experience trying to date, because when we moved from the north to here, from further north to here, this is north to some people.
Norther.
Yeah, norther.
When I was much more norther.
Not quite Canadian.
Yes.
No,
Not quite Canadian. I was on the border of Canada.
Canadian land.
Sort of.
We love you guys in Canada.
We love your Canadian people.
We love everyone.
Oh,
yes.
God. We're poly. Of course we love everybody.
Right. Anyway, so...
Okay, except for the bitches be tripping part.
Yeah.
My ex-wife and I tried to introduce somebody to polyamory. And that did not have great results. A lot of people have this story of trying to introduce somebody to it, and they seem receptive at first, and then things begin to fall apart. Here's the thing, folks. Stuff happens. People get curious. They want to try something. It doesn't mean it's going to be their thing. It doesn't mean that polyamory doesn't work because it didn't work with that one. And it doesn't mean that your polycule is defective somehow just because it didn't work with that one. Everybody was newly introduced to polyamory, because we are saturated in monogamy in this country and in so many others. We grow up with it. We are introduced to it at an early age. The prince comes and gets the princess, and they sail away into the sunset, and they live happily ever after.
Now, one thing I would love to see is the princess gets rescued by the princess. We need that.
Yes, we do.
Or even the prince getting rescued by the prince.
I've tried, but bitches be tripping.
I would love that, and I'd love several variations of that story. How about the prince and the princess fight side by side through the whole thing, and nobody needs rescuing because they've got each other's backs the whole time?
Or they go to rescue the prince.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Why not? Because
and they just have an amazing freaking orgy at the end. It is
cool.
I think that might be a porn of that. I'm sure there is, maybe.
Maybe we should go into the porn industry.
Next venture, polysaturated goes porn. Sorry, guys, that's not going to happen.
No.
Not today. Anyway.
Maybe tomorrow.
Not this lifetime.
So the thing was, in that particular circumstance, the the person that we were introducing to the poly lifestyle was asexual and would not admit it. And it made the whole situation difficult because communication